Just my thank you to Harcourt's done and to Dennis. So great. And if you wouldn't mind, guys, just say thank you to Dennis. You know, he goes to a lot of effort to provide great training resources for you guys. And yeah, I hope from time to time you do thank him for what he's doing. Okay. Well, the best way to thank him is to succeed. Hey, make lots of money. And so what I want to do, the first question I want to answer is, what do I want to do with this webinar? And there's 5 things that I would like us to do together. And it's very important to me that you understand the answer to that question, because I want us all to have realistic expectations going in today. The field of online marketing is massive. It is just so big. And so too for this whole, when it comes to real estate specifically, it's a huge field. And so let's just get straight what we're going to try to do today. The first one is, I want you to believe that you can do this, because it is overwhelming. Let me say that this webinar will, I believe, change some of the people on this webinar's life and business and life. And I truly believe that. And in fact, I'm seeing that happen with the people who've already joined the ongoing mentorship program. And we haven't even kicked off yet. We begin that on the 16th of June. I'll tell you more about the mentorship program later. But just the conversation that's happening in our private Facebook group at the moment, and what people are learning from each other. You know, this is such a hot topic at the moment because the coronavirus has forced us into it. But it can be overwhelming. So one of the things that I want to do with today is just get you to the place where you feel like you can do this. Even though it may feel overwhelming and you might like the thought of shooting and editing video or producing a virtual tour on your own, without the help of someone, just might be intimidating for you. But I hope that you come away with a feeling you can do this. So this webinar is for you. If you're an estate agent, you're concerned about what social distancing is doing to the industry, how technology is impacting your business, and how these things will continue to do so, because I firmly believe that some of the changes that we're seeing happen in the industry right now, especially with the use of video, social media, Zoom meetings, virtual property tours, and the like, are going to be permanent changes. Okay, so what I mean by that is, I think before our very eyes, we are living through a shift in history, and not just in real estate, but in how all business is conducted globally. I think we're busy entering a new normal, and a new normal certainly for the property industry. And of course, you are not the only agent or the only company trying to address this problem. Everyone, your competitors in your selling area right now are scrambling to figure out how to use technology better to list and sell more homes in your area. So there is this huge need to go virtual, and it is overwhelming. But I hope to bring you to the place where you believe you can do this. If you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to apply yourself and get out of your comfort zone a bit, you can learn how to do these things. Then the second thing I want to achieve, while I obviously cannot teach you everything to do with going virtual together in an hour now, in fact, 12 months is even a push to really become proficient at everything there is to know. But on this webinar, I at least want to get you started thinking about what it's going to take for you in the months ahead to emerge from this period of social distancing as the go-to agent in your area, being treated with respect by everyone in your market because of how well you are using online strategies, virtual technology to help your clients. I want you thinking about that. What is it going to take for you to make this transition? So I want you thinking about the road ahead, because it might be that, like me, you do believe there are actually opportunities in everything that's happening right now to make more money than you used to make. And I am just a bit of an optimist that way. You know, there are opportunities in everything. But the truth is that many estate agents are feeling overwhelmed by the thought of having to go virtual in their businesses, especially with all the technology around video and social media and, you know, giving virtual listing presentations and virtual tours and all of that. But I don't think it has to be that way. And I don't think it should be that way, that you feel overwhelmed by all this. In this new world in which many aspects of real estate are going virtual, I believe that even if you don't know anything right now, you're completely like inept with technology and you don't know anything about social media or 3D tours and all of this, I believe you can learn these skills. And I think that if you're willing to learn, you're willing to put the work in, get out of your comfort zone, you should be given the opportunity to learn what to do, to be taught what to do, so that you can still emerge as the go-to agent in your area. And I don't think you should have to pay thousands and thousands of rands to be able to do that, because we're in the middle of a recession. Times are very tough. I don't have to tell you that. I just feel like, you know, in these tough times, we got to come together. And if you're willing to do the work, you should have the right to be able to learn how to do all this. So on this webinar, I want you to start thinking about this journey ahead, because I understand what it is like to feel overwhelmed. You know, like all these new skills that you've got to learn. If you feel overwhelmed by any of it today, I understand. You know, the thought of shooting and editing your own videos and then knowing how and where to upload those videos, and then knowing how to drive traffic to those videos. And then for your listings, what about like 360-degree video? What about Matterport tours? I know that you guys use Matterport at Harcourts. What about, you know, just like using my cell phone? You know, how do I do that with a creative virtual tour? Can I do it live, or does that have to be pre-recorded? All these questions, all this complexity, creating a presence on all the social media, like different platforms, and then having your own website or landing pages, and then using an autoresponder. What's an autoresponder? You know, it's a bulk email service, but it does certain things. It automates certain processes. I'll get into that later today. Then how to use Facebook Live and YouTube Live, because these are platforms that give you massive exposure, because Facebook are very serious about live and they promote anything that's live. Then you got questions around how to advertise. Have you ever, you know, put an advert up on YouTube, on Google, on Facebook? You know, it's overwhelming. Now, I know, I understand that. And of course, while you're trying to learn all of those new skills, you've still got to be generating leads and working with your clients. I mean, you still got work to do every day. So about 4 years ago, and I was in my 40s already at the time, and I was a complete novice. I was like a noob, as my teenage son would tell me. I was completely ignorant about online selling, about online resources. I had never recorded a video in my life. I didn't have a YouTube account. I didn't know anything about video, or I'd never advertised on social media. I didn't know anything about landing pages. I'd never heard of a virtual tour. I'd never heard of a webinar 4 years ago. And then I decided I'm going to launch an online learning business. Great idea, but I wasn't afraid of the complexity. I just dived in and I began to teach myself. And over 3 years, we built South Africa's largest independent real estate sales training company. I've conducted some of the biggest webinars in South Africa's history. And I now produce a daily video that gets posted on every social media site. I advertise online all the time. In fact, I've also helped estate agents build landing pages, and I've done 3D Matterport scans and produced them for agents from Cape Town all the way up to Knysna. So I have learned how to do these things over the last few years, but it's not just that I've learned how to do them. I have learned how to teach them to others. Now, it's that ability that I seem to have to take complex tasks, to complex environments, and break them down into manageable, action-orientated, step-by-step action plans for people. It's that ability that has caused over 500 of South Africa's top agents to get on our coaching program through the years to coach them through their lead generation. So at the end of today's webinar, I want to talk to you about a program called the Going Virtually in Real Estate Mentorship Program. Look, you've got to accept it's going to take time to break down this complex task and prioritize how you now go about implementing all of the various strategies that I am going to show you today. I'm going to give you an overview of everything that's involved today, but it's going to take time to understand it all and implement it all. I'll talk to you more about the mentorship program at the end of the webinar, but that brings me back to this question of what do I want to achieve today? And I've said those two things: get you to believe, get you thinking about the future, and then the third thing that I want to do is to give you the big picture. Now, this is the main task of today's webinar. I want to sketch out for you the big picture, the major things that you need to have in place if you want to have a virtual real estate business. So what are the major building blocks that make up a virtual strategy for an estate agent? And there are 6 of them. Okay. Why do I want the big picture thing? Because there's a lot to cover, and it's going to seem like, whoa, this is like so much. I'm drinking out of a fire hose here. This is a lot of complex stuff. But, you know, when you are lost, the very best thing to do, if you're out driving around and you're lost, stop and take out Google Maps and zoom out a bit and see where you are, where you came from. And so much the better if you've got someone with you who knows where you are when you pull out a map. And they can say, look, that's your home. That's where we're going. This is the freeway. This is where we are now. You just got to go left, right, left, right. It helps to take a step back and just see what the whole thing looks like, so that at the end of today's webinar, you can say, okay, I might not be an expert in anything new from today, but at least I understand what the 6 major areas of a virtual real estate business are. Now, to me, that's very powerful. And that's what we're going to spend the majority of our time on today. Then fourth, I want to then start you down the journey towards a virtual business. So it's not just looking at the big picture. It's also then, okay, here are the first 2 roads you need to drive down. So I'm going to give you a couple of practical things that you can actually go and do immediately after the webinar to take your first step forwards. And then lastly, the 5th thing that I want to do is I want to invite you to enroll on the Going Virtual Real Estate in Real Estate Mentorship Program, and I'll give you the opportunity. You'll be able to enroll at the end of today's webinar. Okay, so that is now the big picture of, sorry, that's not the big, we're getting onto the big picture, but that's the overview of what I want to achieve today, the big picture of today's webinar. And what I want to do is I want to move into this thing of giving you the bird's eye view, big picture of the strategy now. Before I do that, can I just see in the chat roll, is everyone still with me? Because we're about to dive into it now. Are you ready? Are you feeling good? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Are the slides clear? Just give me some feedback so that I know that there are some living, breathing human beings out there. One of the difficulties in a webinar, so that you just climb into my world for a second, is when I ask a question that takes approximately 15 seconds for you to hear it and then type, and then for me to see it in the chat roll. So now I see Hanley Eustace answer, yes. Leonie, you saying all good. Hanley, You're saying good, thanks. Kubus is all good. Okay, great. That's wonderful. Thanks, guys. If you can figure out how to put an emoji in the chat roll, I dare you to do it. I see Jacques, you've already done it. Well done. Okay, guys, here we go. We're going to get into like the practical thing of today now. Let's look at the 6 major pieces of a virtual real estate strategy. Give us the money. I'm sure it was show me the money, wasn't it? Anyway, both of them will do. Hey. Okay, so this is number 1. You've got to, so these are the 6 major pieces. You got to learn the tools. So you have to, there are some basic tools that you are going to use throughout your time working in a virtual business. And you have to master the use of these tools. Master is probably too strong a word. For social media is going to be one of them. You don't have to master social media, but you have to become proficient. You got to at least know your way around to be able to move freely using these tools. And as we look at the other 5 major pieces of the virtual real estate strategy, you're going to see that as you do the other 5, you're going to be using the tools here from number 1. So you can't actually get going unless you become proficient with these tools. Hey, I'm seeing all the emojis coming in the chat roll there. Well done, guys. Yo, see, you guys are going virtual already. You know how to put an emoji in a webinar chat roll. So what I'm going to do, by the way, is I'm just going to give you all 6 pieces of the strategy now, and then we're going to go through them one by one to one degree of intensity or another. I'll go into less detail with some more detail with others, but let's just list what the 6 are. So number 1, you got to learn the tools. For example, you've got to learn how to shoot and edit video on your phone. That is a skill you have to develop. Shooting it and then getting it onto your computer and then editing it and then being able to upload it onto YouTube or Facebook or whatever. You've got to learn how to work with the video on your phone. Okay, that is non-negotiable. If you want to go virtual, that is a non-negotiable skill you're going to have to develop. And there are actually 6 of these tools. So under point number 1, there's 6 tools that I'm going to show you what they are later, and video is one of them. Okay, number 2, the second major piece of a virtual strategy is creating an online presence for yourself. So this is about building a personal brand on the interwebs. And there's a whole bunch of complexity around that. Guys, sorry, the sun has come out and I'm getting quite warm now. I'm just going to open my window. You say something nice to someone in the chat roll. That's your job while I go and open a window. Whew. Only one person said something. Slim Rosetta. Yes, Rosetta. Jy is baie slim. En Hanley, jy is baie snaaks. See, my Afrikaans is not too bad, eh? Dennis, your hair looks nice. Listen, I had a WhatsApp video call with Dennis this morning. I can tell you right now, his hair's not looking nice. Okay, sorry. Back to the matter at hand. Creating an online presence. Okay, we'll go into that one in more detail later. Number 3, database communication. Database communication. Now, you guys know me. I'm the referral guy. Don't worry, referrals don't go out the window now that we're going virtual. We're just going to communicate with our database, our advocates, in a slightly different way. We're going to do it video rich. Okay, I'll get onto that later. Database communication, so that's having a referral system. Then number 4, a library of pre-appointment videos. You've got to build up a library. Okay, I'm going to get into that later. That is a brilliant idea. Number 5 is how to give effective virtual listing presentations. How to effectively get sold mandates using like a Zoom call, for example. Okay, I don't have time to go into that one today. That's something we will get into on the mentorship program. And then lastly is offering virtual tours of all your listings. Now, I know you guys at Harcourts you've actually been doing this for quite some time. In fact, I first learned about Matterport through Lee DeVet, who was with Harcourts at the time. I'm not sure if Lee is still with you, Dennis, but at the time, I was blown away when I learned about it through you guys. So you've been ahead of the curve here. And I'm going to have some words to say about virtual tours later today on the webinar. Okay, so learning the tools. Now we're going to now dive into each of them in a little bit more detail. What are the 6 major tools that you've got to become proficient with if you're going to build a virtual business? Here's number 1. This is not the one that you're going to be expecting. And, so I'm telling you a time management strategy. That's not what you were expecting me to say. Okay, because that's not technology. That's not online. What are you talking about? Listen, mark my words. Unless you implement some kind of time management strategy in your business whereby you are setting aside, I'm going to recommend 2 hours per day, and you actually block it off in your diary 5 days a week. It's a recurring appointment that you program into your diary, and you never book appointments over that time. This is your holy, sanctified, set apart time for your whole administrative lead generation, online, virtual, like lead follow-up, phone calls to your database. You're going to set time aside, because if you don't set time aside, guys, you will not get to these tasks. All of the tasks that I'm going to be talking about today of how to go virtual, none of them are urgent, immediate tasks. I say none of them. Some of them are like shooting a virtual tour of a home if it's just been listed. That's pretty urgent. But a whole lot of these things, you don't have to do them. You don't have to post a video on Facebook today. And in fact, if you do, it's not like, Facebook are going to like write you a check for 10 grand, and it's not going to just like produce income immediately. These are all long-term things. So the urgent matters of life will squeeze out these daily tasks, which I'm going to recommend you build into your daily routine. And in order to make that happen, you are going to need a time management strategy. So let me read you a couple of quotes. Here's a good one from Charles Swindoll, who's an old preacher. He says, if you're running a marathon, remember that every mile is run one step at a time. A bird just flew into my window. Hey, starling. If you're writing a book, do it one page at a time. If you're trying to master a new language, try it one word at a time. There are 365 days in the average year. Divide any project by 365, and you'll find that no job is all that intimidating. I tell you, those are wise words. That's how you become proficient at all of these things. That's how you build an online presence. That's how you build a referral system. It's doing stuff. It's the consistency every day. Then he says, all it takes is discipline, daily discipline, not annual discipline. It's not doing one big thing once a year. It's doing a whole bunch of little stuff every single day. So you're going to need a time management system. Let me read you a quote by Gary Keller. For those who are seeking success at a high level, and this is written to estate agents, he says, lead generation time must be considered the most important time on their calendar. And as such, it will need to be jealously guarded and protected. Because life seems to love to offer up the unexpected, guarding this time is never as easy to do as it may seem. Because other stuff's going to squash out this, that you can't let it. You've got to maintain this 2 hours a day. So that is setting aside 2 hours a day and actually booking it onto your calendar as a recurring appointment. That's a time management technique called time blocking. And time blocking is incredibly effective. and I commend it highly to you. Okay, so we're back to our 6 tools. That's number 1, a time management strategy. Number 2, you're not going to be expecting this one either. This is one of the major tools you're going to have to become proficient with. You're going to be using it in your business. Here it is: a task system, a reminder system, a tracking system. Okay, excuse me. You are going to need some kind of to-do list that flags you, that reminds you to do important things. Especially, you're going to need this for creating an online presence. I'll give you an example. One of the things that I recommend you do is shoot a monthly 90-second video, short, on the state of the property market in your area. And you'll have a few words to say about what's going on nationally right now, maybe provincially, but then you're going to drive it down to your selling area, and you're going to use some statistics. You're going to look at, you're going to say, hey, in the in the last 30 days, this is how many homes have listed, have come on the market. Now let's compare that to the previous 30 days, and that compares to the same period last year. So all I'm saying is use statistics. Don't just like stand there and waffle. High value, 90 seconds, the state of the property market, and then you end it with, and what this means for you or your family and friends who are thinking of buying or selling is. So bring it down to, how does it apply to a buyer or a seller? And then a call to action. If you know anyone thinking of buying or selling, please click the button below or phone me on this number. Have a call to action in the video. So now, if that's one of the little disciplines that you're going to have in your business, a monthly market update, what is going to remind you to do that every month? Because you've got a million other things you're doing in your business. You're going to need something that pops up on your phone or on your computer, or as you page through your paper diary. I hope that's not. As you page through your paper diary, you see it written there that is going to remind you, oh, today's the day I need to record my next market update video. Now you can, if it was only the market update video, you might remember it, but there's 1,000 things like that. And there's database communications. Who do I need to phone today? Who do I need to send a WhatsApp video note to? Who do I need to write a handwritten note to? Who are the 10 people I need to phone today? You know, it's just like, you know, there was a buyer that I'm keeping in touch with. He said he wasn't interested in buying now. He only wants to buy in 6 months, but I've got him on a drip campaign on my email, and every 3 months I know I need to phone him. That's part of my system. So how are you going to be reminded to phone these 10 or 15 buyers, and at what intervals? And I hope I've made my point. If you don't have a tracking system, you cannot do any of this. Now, if you want to be a business owner, guys, and that's what you are, this is one of the fundamental tools of any business owner. You have to have a tracking system that flags and reminds you of things. Okay. Then, so I got a frog in my throat this morning. Thirdly, this is the third of the 6 tools, and this is video. Now, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but you've got to get good at shooting, editing, and uploading video using your phone. Okay, you don't need a fancy camera. Now, that leads us to the next question, which I'm always asked. Okay, great. So Annalie says, you guys have got a system called H1, and the task functionality on H1 really works well. That's excellent. Please use it, guys. Okay, so video. The question I'm then asked is, what kit do I need? What do I need to buy? Like, do I need a fancy camera? Do I need a lighting system? Do I need this? Do I need that? Okay, here's what you're going to need. It is going to require a little bit of investment, but not as much as you think. So the first little piece of kit you're going to need is your phone. You know, your phone, unless you're still on your Nokia 3210 from 15 years ago, because some of you guys, this is my old phone, I love it, and I'm not moving off of it. No, you got to get a phone in the last few years. It's fine. I mean, I've got a 4-year-old iPhone 7, and the camera on this thing is perfectly sufficient for shooting video. Okay, so Yeah, Jacques, you got your old BlackBerry there. No, it's time. It's time, my friend. You got to move on. So your phone. Secondly, you are going to need a lavalier microphone. Okay, so in my opinion, don't get one of those microphones that plugs into the phone and then it like sticks towards you, and then you can put one of those wind mufflers on it. Don't get that. Get yourself a lavalier. What is a lavalier? It's a lapel mic. Clips onto your lapel. You run the little wire up your shirt or up your jacket sleeve, and you pin it here. Right, why are you going to need a lavalier? With an extension cord. And let me just show you a picture. This is the one that I use, works brilliantly. It's called the Smart Lav Plus. It's made by Rode, R-O-D-E. And you can, I'll tell you what, I've actually got a link here on Takealot's. I don't know if it's available, but what I'll do is I'll put it in the chat roll. That might just be for the microphone, and then do a search for the extension cord. Why do you need this? Because a lot of your videos, you're going to be standing in front of a property. You want in the screen, in the shot, to be the whole house and you full body standing on the front lawn talking about it. Now, if you're 5 meters away from your phone's microphone is going to sound terrible on the video. You're going to need the microphone. So this is one of the investments you've got to make. I'm not sure how expensive they are. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe one of you want to just jump onto that Takealot page and just tell us how expensive that microphone is. I can't actually remember how much they are. Okay, so you're going to need to invest in a mic. Then, next one, you're going to need a sturdy tripod. Why? Because you don't want to be balancing your phone in some tree to then stand in front of the house. Okay, you're going to need a tripod. Supply out of stock, 1,500 Rand. Okay, so look around, look on Amazon. You can shop around for it. Go to Orms. Orms sell a lot of this sort of stuff in South Africa. So a sturdy tripod. When I say sturdy tripod, just one that's not so flimsy that it's going to wobble around in the wind, because sometimes there might be wind outside. Next thing you're going to need is a gimbal. Oh, sorry. On the tripod thing, what I'm going to recommend is go and buy yourself a selfie stick. And at the end of the selfie stick, you're going to find something like this. Okay, that's on the end of the selfie stick, which you put your phone in. Okay, take the head of the selfie stick off, and then you will screw it onto your tripod. That then, because most tripods come with, they're not actually like this. They come with like a plate. And under the plate is the little screw that you then screw onto this thing. And the reason is because on that normal plate, you can't put your phone on there anyway. You need some kind of clamp to hold your phone. And the quickest and easiest way, don't buy an expensive one. Just go and buy the cheapest selfie stick you can. Take the head off and put it on the end of your tripod. Works really well. Okay, then it sits there like that. I actually keep this on the other side of my desk so that when I do WhatsApp calls, video calls, I'm not holding the phone while I'm doing a WhatsApp video call. Okay. Yes, you guys are learning some good tips and techniques here. So you need a sturdy tripod. Next, you're going to need a gimbal. So some of you are thinking, oh, that's a sentence I never thought I'd hear. You're going to need a gimbal. And you're thinking, what on earth is a gimbal? It sounds like a character from the Lord of the Rings. No, a gimbal is an electronically stabilizing selfie stick. Now, why do you need this? You're going to need this if you are going to produce virtual tours using your cell phone. Because what this does is it stabilizes your phone as you walk around. And so, because if you're walking through a property, it's bouncing up and down as you're going. These things create unbelievably beautiful, smooth footage as you record it. So, and look, if you're going to be using Matterport, for example, exclusively, you might not need the gimbal. Although it's still, I think they're great things, because when you're going to be shooting video every day now, if you want to go virtual. Every day you're going to be shooting a video, and you've got to be able to do it quick. So grab the gimbal, put your phone in. Hey, guys. New homes just come on the market. It's behind me. These are the specs. I love this home because ... And if you need more information, you can call so-and-so. Doesn't even have to be your own listing. Promote the other agents. What it does is it that brands you as an expert, and everybody knows, man, every time something's new on the market, Stephen knows about it, and it starts driving traffic to all of your stuff. Okay, so a gimbal. Now, do I have a link here for a gimbal? Yes, I've got the Orms Direct. You can buy one of these gimbals with Orms. Maybe one of you want to just quickly go and check how much the gimbal is. Yeah. Okay, so there's the link. And again, shop around for them. This is a nice brand, the Osmo DJI, because the way it works is you can plug your lavalier microphone cord into your phone without it getting in the way of the gimbal. Some of the gimbals are designed that you can't actually get this in, whereas the DJI Osmo doesn't do that. It's got space. So you can actually have your microphone in there while you're walking around with your gimbal. All right, so the gimbal is $2,000. All right, so there's some investment to make here. The gimbal you don't have to get right away, but I just think it's a great investment. And then lastly is some kind of virtual tour camera, whether you use a 360-degree camera, which I'll show you later, it's one of the options, or a Matterport camera, and I think you guys still have a Matterport camera, so that's a great option for you guys. Then, so we're going through the 6 tools that you're going to need to be proficient with. We've got 20 minutes left. Okay, I'm gonna have to give you highlights now. So social media, you're gonna have to get good on social media. There are 8 major social media platforms that I think you need to be posting your video on every day. You shoot and upload a video every day, and it goes on all 8 of these. It's part of your routine. You can get so good at this that you can do the whole thing from shooting the video to uploading them. You can do it all in about 20 minutes. Just part of your daily routine. You think, what on earth am I going to be saying in all these videos? I've got about 286 video ideas, and there's plenty more that you can just work through every single day. Just pick one and go for it. There's so many ideas of little videos, and they're all between 60 and 90 seconds. They're short videos, but you're just creating high-value content, and you're publishing it. So Web Talk is kind of like the new, so you need a YouTube channel, you need a personal Facebook account, you need to join a local community Facebook group for your selling area. You don't want to actually administer this. Get the busybody in your area who knows everybody to administer them. Encourage them to set one up if there isn't one, but you join it and you posting localized high-value content all the time on that group, like interviews with local restaurant owners, things to do for entertainment, traffic tips, stuff about the local school. Then you're going to need a Facebook page for your own business, not for Harcourt's company. For you as the Harcourt's agent, need your own Facebook page. You need a LinkedIn profile, a Twitter profile, an Instagram profile. You're going to use Instagram TV to upload your videos, IGTV, and a Web Talk. So what's Web Talk? Well, it's the latest kind of guy on the scene with online. Sorry, I'm trying to do 2 things at once, and I'm not making any sense to you. I'm just going to redirect your browser to that Web Talk page. Okay, I'll put it in here as well if you want. It's a brand new online like social media platform, and it's got some unique things, and it seems to have attracted a lot of real estate professionals internationally. There's a lot of estate agents on there. On the US American side, not so many in South Africa because we don't know about it, but I think it's worth checking out. And if it takes you an extra 1 minute a day just to post your stuff on there as well, I think it's worth doing. Okay, so back to our presentation. Social media. The next tool is number 5. Hello, an autoresponder. An autoresponder is a bulk email service provider. Like, for example, MailChimp. I think every single one of you should have your own MailChimp account or another autoresponder if you've got one. This is not just about sending bulk email. It's about creating groups. It's a database management system for your communication. So, for example, you can create a group for buyers, and then you can pre-program what is called a drip campaign for just for buyers. And every time you meet a buyer or someone makes an inquiry and you want to keep in touch with them, you stick them on that list. And you have now pre-programmed, let's say, 8 emails that go once a week for the next 8 weeks that educate this buyer about your area, high value stuff. So the first week might just be an introduction to you and your expertise in the area and offering to help them. Quick 30-second, 90-second video, and it's linked in the email that goes to them. The next week they get another link. They get another email with a video about the best restaurants in your area. The next week they get another. So you can pre-program this drip campaign, and you only ever do it once, and you can add hundreds and hundreds of names onto each of those lists. You do one for sellers, you do one for allied service providers, you do one for other estate agents. You create these drip campaigns, but it's work to do in the beginning. But once you've done it, man, they produce such results because they are driving people to your videos, hundreds of people, and you don't even know it's happening. A lot of you guys have been on my database. I have sent something like 1.5 million emails in the last 3 years. And I haven't known about it at all. I created a drip campaign and everyone's on it. And you'll see now with everything I send out, it's video rich. It's not text. Everything's video now with me. And I'm going to get onto that in a second if we've got time. Why video? And then the last tool that you're going to use to create your online presence is your telephone. And let me just say, I probably won't have time to get into this today, but your communication with your database, your circle of influence is right now, I'm telling you, in this lockdown, this is the most important task you have. You've got to be making phone calls every single day. You've got to be working through your advocates, keeping in touch, having conversations, offering to help, asking them how they are, telling them what you are doing as an estate agent to stay active in the market, telling them what is possible with buyers and sellers with virtual tours, educating your database. You've got to be phoning. It's personal contact that's going to create leads for you at this time. So let's not forget that. The telephone is still a massive asset. All right, now I'm going to have to be selective around what we do now because we've got 15 minutes left. But we've handled now point number 1 of the 6 major pieces of your strategy, and that's knowing the tools. Right, point number 2, strategy number 2 is creating an online presence. And this is all about, it's about branding. It's not so much about lead generation. This is longer term stuff about being visible. Okay, it's about being visible online. We know that even though there's social distancing, because there's social distancing, everybody is online. Google stats are through the roof. The number of searches for the word property or real estate are through the roof at the moment. Facebook usage is through the roof. YouTube video views are through the roof. Everybody is online. And if you're not visible online, you're invisible. So how do you do this? How do you create an online presence? Well, I want to sum it up in 3 words, and I don't have time to elaborate on these. Consistency. It's not doing one great post a day. It's doing one post every day for the next 365 days and beyond. Consistency on social media is everything. Authenticity. Be who you are. Don't try to sell all the time. Don't try to create some false persona, because people will not engage with someone that they just think is false. Be yourself. Share stuff that you're interested in. Share stuff that you think. Share your opinions. If you go onto my personal Facebook page, you're going to know within the first 3 seconds what I stand for. You'll see that I'm not ashamed of who I am, what I believe. And if you don't like that, fine. You're welcome to go and live your virtual life somewhere else. But I know that people are engaging with me online. They know who I am. They're comfortable with who I am. Authenticity is so important. And then lastly is engagement. When people comment on your posts, you always acknowledge their comments, not just with a like, but you make a comment on their comments. And if you can ask a question, so much better. So someone posts, you then come back and say, hey, Bill, thanks so much for the comment. What did you most enjoy about the video? Because as you create engagement on your page, more and more users are shown. It's shown more time on people's feeds, and you create an involved community in your online space. Engagement is key. Okay, why video? I do need to cover this, guys, because this is important. I'm going to throw some, because I'm telling you, you've got to have video on everything. Why? I'm going to throw some stats at you. 1.5 billion hours of video are watched on YouTube every day. There are 8 billion video views on Facebook every day. Real estate listings with a video get 403% more inquiries than those without. People who view a video are 174% more likely to purchase. The average website gets 88% more stick time, so people spend 88% longer on a website when there's a video on that page. Real estate companies who include video on listings get 6 times more leads than those who don't. And yet, only 9% of estate agents use video regularly in their business. Are you one of them? You need to be. Social media posts with video get 1,200% more shares than all of the others combined. And then listen to this one. Because Google owns YouTube, products that include YouTube links or YouTube videos get 157% more organic search traffic from Google searches. So if somebody searches 3-bedroom homes in Durbanville, if you've got something online with a video, you've got 157% more chance of that ranking in the search, because Google owns YouTube and they want to drive traffic to YouTube, not to Facebook. Google and Facebook are enemies. So when you upload a video on YouTube, never take that YouTube link and paste it into Facebook, even though it creates a beautiful little thumbnail for you and everything. Behind the scenes, they are not going to rank that post on people's feeds because they don't want to drive any traffic to Google, because they're competing for advertising revenue. Okay, landing pages get 80% more conversions with video. But here's the most important thing I want you to come away with. When people watch you on video multiple times, they form what psychologists call a parasocial relationship with you. And I'm telling you guys, this is powerful. A parasocial relationship is when people think they know you. They feel like they know you. I mean, that's why people scream when celebrities walk past them on a red carpet and they shout their first names, Brad, Brad, Brad. They feel like they know Brad. And Brad's thinking, you're a moron. But they smile and it's a weird thing. Video makes people think they know you. I get this all the time because I'm video. I get estate agents coming on my program speaking to me as if we're friends, and I've never met them in my life before. This is why you've got to be producing video every day, because you're going to build up a base of people who continually watch your stuff, and they will feel like they know you, like they like you, and they trust you, and you are going to be the go-to person for them and for their referrals. Okay, I'm going to bring this to a close, guys. Database communication. I'm not going to go into this. You've got to build, sort, capture, and prime a database. You've got to have 100 to 200 advocates. You've got to keep in touch with them. And there's a little, take a screenshot. I'm going to give you 3 seconds. That is what you need to do with these people. That is a very simplified a communication plan for your advocates. Okay, that's an 8-hour training course in 4 points. You email them a video piece linked in an email. 10 days later, you follow up with a WhatsApp video note. 10 days later, you phone them. And then you rinse and repeat. You just do that for all 100, 200 advocates. And you just and you're asking for referrals when you speak to them. You're telling them about your business. You're asking them, hey, do you know anyone thinking of buying or selling? Okay, that's database communication, video content ideas. There were a whole bunch of ideas there. I need to move on, guys. Pre-appointment videos. What is this? Let me just tell you what this is. I use this all the time. I never have an appointment with anyone if they have not watched something of mine before I meet with them. I don't want to meet with people cold. And this goes for any appointment that you have. So here's the exercise. Go and make a list of every single appointment that you ever have in your business. So listing presentation, meeting with a buyer for the first time, a negotiation meeting. Go through the list of meetings you have, and then ask yourself, what would I love these people to know and think about before I arrive? And then shoot a video, and that goes in your library, and you use that video over and over again. You send it to people, say, hey, looking forward to seeing you later this afternoon or this evening. I've put together a little video for you, and that is going to make our appointment a lot more focused, a lot more productive. It's going to save us both a lot of time. So please, can I ask you to just watch this little 5-minute video before I get there tonight? Thanks so much. See you later. Okay. Is everyone going to watch it? No, but a lot will. And what this does is it massively increases your conversion rates on your presentations, whatever you're trying to achieve. Fifth, there is a sixth one. Virtual listing presentations. Okay, I'm not going to go into this one at all today. Then number 6, virtual tours. So 3 options. Let me go through these quickly. If I run a few minutes over, guys, just be patient with me. This is good content. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of example videos of these now. Option number 1 is you just use your phone to walk through a property, and either you narrate, you talk, you comment on the home, on the things that you want to as you're walking through. And if you've got a gimbal, so much the better, because I think a gimbal can actually flip, and then you can talk, and then you can press a button and it flips again. So then you can interact with the person. You never want to eliminate your face and your personality from a virtual tour. I hope you heard that, because Matterport can fall foul of that danger. Somehow you've got to keep your face and your personality involved, if it's pre-recorded or if it's live. So I'm going to show you an example now of a bunch of guys in Australia. They've been doing this for years. I've been following them. They're called the Mr. Show team or Mr. Sell team or something. And I'm going to show you an example of option number 1, just a video taken on a cell phone. And then you're going to see they also include a little bit of drone footage, which I think is great, but you don't have to do that. So here we go. Here's Mr. Sell team and their static video.
G'day, it's Tonksy here from the Mr. Sell team, and today we're down in a very special pocket at Cleveland. I've got this sprawling modern low set that I know you're going to absolutely love. Let's go take a look. And how good is this? We've got an amazing modern family kitchen, and it flows right out through to open plan living, family areas all around. And if you come out here, big open entertaining area. This one's going to be perfect for the families and the entertainers. So how good was that, buyers? I'm Thomas from the Mr. Sell team, and I can't wait to see you here.
Okay, so as I put in the chat roll there, somebody tell me what I did not like at the end of that video. Okay, special extra super duper prize for the person who gets the answer to that question right. Okay, so that's option number one. Option number two is a 360-degree video. So I see, thanks to awesome training. Okay, I'm ignoring that. Dennis, you said you have just bought a 360-degree camera, and I think that's amazing. So I want to show you an example of an agent that's used it really effectively overseas. And this is a much shorter little video just to give you an idea of 360 if you haven't seen what they can do. Okay, so this is just a quick demonstration. I'm not going to play the whole video, but of a 360-degree camera being used by an agent walking through a home, and then she is describing the home as she's walking. But as you'll see, I'm going to do with my mouse, I can pull the video left and right. I can look around wherever I want to as the video plays. So here we go.
In 2017, I sold $10 million of real estate to buyers sight unseen. I started implementing video on every aspect of my business. I mastered the art of not only attracting clients via video, also scaling and converting clients via video. 80% of my offers were made before a client ever visited the home in person through a virtual showing like you're experiencing right now. Now this is a 360 showing, so that means that you can actually turn all the way around. You can swipe your screen around, you can look up, you can look down. There's nothing hidden from this experience, which gives our buyers a really authentic view of a property that's been marketed to them by a listing agent. So we primarily started as a buyer's platform, but we just recently expanded to the listing side. And you can notice on the bottom right-hand screen, there was a chat widget. Now, if you were to click that chat.
Okay, so that gives you a great idea of what a 360-degree camera does. I think it gives you a great combination of a user-controlled experience where they can look where they want to, but it doesn't eliminate your face and voice and personality from the experience. So I hope that gives you a good idea. Okay, and then the third option is a fully immersive 3D space like a Matterport space. But with Matterport, just be careful, don't eliminate your face. And there's ways you can do that. You can create commentary videos that you edit together with a walkthrough of the space. You can do a Zoom call where you can see each other's faces and you can walk through the property together. So Matterport, I love Matterport. I'm a big supporter. In fact, I've got a Matterport camera. I love it, but that's the one thing you got to be careful with it. What I did not like at the end of that Mr. Sell Team video was there was no call to action. Every video's got to have a call to action. Hey, call me on this number. Click this button to contact me now. Okay, just remember that with your videos. Right, 3 must-haves. Okay, we're almost done. A willingness to get out of your comfort zone. Have you got that? You know, you can't come in with like youngest child syndrome. You know, the kid that gets born last and he gets mollycoddled. His sisters are always doing everything for him and like can never do anything for himself. You can't come into the virtual world like that. No one can ever teach you everything you need to know. You've got to be able to get out of your comfort zone. You've got to be able to find answers. And in fact, that's number 2. You've got to be a proactive problem solver. If you don't know how to do a live 360-degree video with your new camera that you've just bought, how do you do a live? You don't wait for someone to tell you. Go online, use YouTube, use Google, how to do a live 360-degree video with my new Ryko Theta V or Insta360. I don't know which one you got. Just search things and solve your own problems. And then consistency and patience, kind of the same thing. You've got to be in this for the long haul. These are the 3 must-haves. If you've got that, I don't care how little you know now, we can help you build all of these pieces into your business over a period of time. And that is, in fact, what the Going Virtual in Real Estate mentorship program is all about. The way it works is you... so I know a lot of you have got this already, the Successful Real Estate Agent course. It's worth 6,650 Rand. If you get onto the Going Virtual in Real Estate Mentorship Program, that gets thrown in with the deal. So you don't pay the 6,650. It's just part of the package. You get enrolled on that course if you weren't already. Then, secondly, we do a fortnightly coaching webinar. That starts on the 16th of June. So we haven't started that yet. And what I'll do is I'm going to break down this whole task of implementing those 6 strategies into your business. You're not going to do it all at the same time. We're going to start piece by piece, slowly over that first 12 months and beyond. I think this is going to be a program that runs indefinitely, where we all learn together and we build this stuff up together. So a fortnightly coaching webinar with me. And then we've got this very active private Facebook group. We've already got about 100 agents on the program. And that private Facebook group is already alive with daily conversations. I've given everyone a bit of homework to upload a welcome video or an introduction video of themselves, just to get people trying to use their phones if they haven't done before. People are putting their videos, other people are commenting. I'm giving tips and techniques as I see the videos. Hey, don't shoot upright, shoot landscape on your phone, all these little things that you learn. So the Facebook group is a really valuable part of this. One of the powers of a program like this is that you're part of a closed community of people where you are learning not only from me, but you are learning from others. Because I will ask you, for example, to shoot a video and upload it, or tell us what your most successful social media campaign is. Or I will make a comment in answer to someone's question, and 10 other people had the same question. So there's an unbelievable dynamic when there is an open forum like this closed Facebook group open, because everyone is seeing each other's comments, where, man, you learn a lot in a short space of time, and it's great to be part of a community that are going on a journey together. It's a very powerful concept. Okay, so what would you pay to be on that? Would you pay $1.5 grand a month? Because that's what my mentorship programs cost. Actually, between $1.5 and $2,000 a month is what my mentorship programs cost. Would you pay that? You say, well, I would, but times are tough. It's the middle of a recession. So here's what I've decided to do. I've dropped the price way down so that cost is not an eliminating factor. So how much is it going to cost you to be on this program? Everything included, no hidden costs. This is what it costs: 120 Rand a month. Can you find 120 Rand a month for me to teach you how to go virtual in your business and support you all the way through? Okay, so if you would like to join the program, how do you do it? Well, you click that button that's on your screen now. You should see an offer on the screen that says join now. If you click that button, it's going to take you through a little process. It's very simple. There's no black box behind the button. If you click the button, it'll take you to a checkout page where you put your credit card details in. You click enroll. Make sure you put the postal code in, your local postal code, and tick the terms and conditions. Otherwise, the button won't work. You click enroll, and then it's going to take you to a page with a video from me, surprisingly enough. And it's like a 3-minute video, and I just explain what your next steps are. There's a link you need to save to get onto the webinar every 2 weeks. There's a special link. And then there's a link to apply for access to the closed Facebook group. And when you apply, I will get an alert, and I'll see that you're one of the members, and I will authorize that application, and then you're in. So it's a very simple process, but it's going to be really powerful. So, guys, I want to say thank you. Thanks for your patience. 7 minutes over, but that's not too bad. I hope you got value out of it. I trust you and your families are well during this corona thing. I hope you don't know anybody who's suffering with it, and long may that last for all of us. And thanks for bringing me into the team again today to do this little bit of training. I hope that many of you do join this Going Virtual program. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. It's a powerful, powerful program. Okay, so God bless you. Dennis, thank you for putting all this together. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the program. So what I'll do is I'm going to switch my camera and my microphone off now. Just while I'm waffling, if you've got any questions, now would be the time. If you've got a question, put it in the chat roll about anything. It doesn't have to be about the program, about anything I spoke about today. And I'll see if I can answer it. Tim, I don't have an answer to your question earlier about do they rank it if it's on your page. I actually don't know the answer to that. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to leave this page open for about 10 minutes or so. It gives you a chance to like think, phone your wife, whatever you need to do to get the permission for the 120 Rand a month. Just drink one less cup of coffee at Vida. No, it's not quite that expensive at Vida. So I'll leave it open for about 10 minutes and you can join the program, and then I'll shut it down. So there will be a replay of this video. You'll get that email tomorrow with the link to the replay in it, and please do share that. You're welcome to share it with whoever you want to. The more, the better. All right, so that's it from me. God bless you guys. Click that join now button. I'll see you inside.